Weather's pretty. All right, let's see if we can put our pedal down on quali.
We're just about ready to kick off today's qualifying here in Melbourne. It's the Australian Grand Prix. So then, Ant, it's another Grand Prix weekend, another exciting qualifying session ahead of us.
We've got the ultimate ERS on the car, which should make the biggest difference.
First question's going to be who can avoid making mistakes. There isn't much margin for error in qualifying, and you have to bear in mind that the track conditions may have changed since practice, particularly as we've had a few support races in the meantime. If the brake bias settings, for example, don't take this into account, it's extremely easy to lock up a front wheel and cause a flat spot. Just like that, your lap's ruined, and you've wasted a set of tyres to boot.
.119.3. It's kind of the mark we're seeing. I went right over the time mark I wanted to get to. We gotta go. Why is the front brake bias so high all of a sudden? It just feels like we have too much car. Just ridiculously difficult to control.
Okay, there's 2 minutes left in this session and we're in the drop zone. We need a quick lap. That's qualifying over for us.
We just barely survived. It just felt like a bear on track. What? Where did my arrow go? Why did the game change my setup? I'm sorry, but if it's possible, we're going to have to try to figure out how to turn off Park Ferme. This is not the setup I took in. Gameplay settings. Park Ferme off. That's not cool. That's not cool at all. If I make the changes, and it won't let me make the changes, even with Park Ferme off. Yeah, I turned it off and the settings are still locked. Hold on. Yeah, I'm miffed about that. Because now I can't change any of it back. You take the whole weekend, you set your car up perfectly, and then the game just changes it. Like, I'm probably not going to make it out of qualifying too now. No wonder I can't control the car through some of these corners. There are no circumstances where this should ever happen. Yeah, I'm out naturally because I don't have any downforce. We're gonna have to make the best of an imbalanced car if I can't change any of it back.
That was one of the worst qualifying performances I've ever seen. The only way is up from here. Hopefully.
Blame the developers, Jesus. Nothing I could do about that except see it. But when you have your car set up, you don't see any reason to ever check it again.
They say that even a second is an eternity in Formula One, so going 4 winter months with no racing at all has seemed a very long time indeed.
Like, there's no way to restart this to, like, fix the setup if turning Parc Ferme off doesn't do it.
The Melbourne circuit is certainly one that needs to be taken seriously. Its combination of slippery surfaces and difficult corners make it a tricky track when it comes to overtakes. Drivers find it hard to pass and will need to take full advantage of those DRS zones if they want to have any hope of breaking through. I'm joined today in the commentary box, as I will be throughout this season, by a great racing driver, former F1 competitor, former world champion, and as he tells me all too often, an all-round top chap. It's the one and only Anthony Davidson. And tell me, here we are, first Grand Prix of the season, first time racing these cars. What are the big questions that need to be answered here, in your view?
Oh, thanks, Crofty. It's a real privilege to be here, and I can't wait to see what's in store for us this season. Now, to answer your question, one of the biggest things is reliability. Formula One cars are full of very sophisticated but also very sensitive technology, and this first
game
Grand Prix of
requires
the
a lot of
season is going
focus.
to
I
push them
can't.
to the limits. So the most important thing today is to stay out of trouble, get to the end of the race and keep everything in good condition.
And I have to try it.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. A fantastic effort from Pierre Gasly yesterday puts him on pole, with Nico Hülkenberg alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Verstappen, Vettel, Devon Butler and Bottas, Perez, Leclerc, Magnussen and Lucas Faber, Raikkonen, Hamilton, Williams and Albon. Russell, Norris, Romain Grosjean and Daniel Ricciardo. Kubica and Carlos Sainz will start from the back of the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down.
Going from like being 4 6/10 up in practice to like just.
Okay, we're looking for a top 3 finish today.
Yeah, it's locked. I can't change any of it. The brake pressure is down to like nothing. The only reason I even noticed this was because my brakes were just completely different. Yeah, I tried turning it off, but it doesn't actually help. Can I reset the race weekend? Probably not. That would just make too much sense. That is just unacceptable. When you're developing a game, it should never, ever do that. But I have to run a race on a crippled car now.
The atmosphere is heavy with expectation and anticipation, and bearing the weight of that burden today is a place we know very well indeed. It's Albert Park. The story of the season begins here then with the Australian Grand Prix, and it's time for the first chapter to be written. We go racing today then in the state of Victoria, where the drivers have 16 corners and 3.3 miles to navigate at an average lap speed of around...
Is this 1.1 now? Yeah. This is the 10th patch to the game. The 10th patch to the game. And this
recent history shows us
is a thing.
The safety car is not at all out of the question.
Oh.
I'm joined today in the commentary box, as I will be throughout this season, by a great racing driver, former F1 competitor, former world champion, and as he tells me all too often, an all-round top chap. It's the one and only Anthony Davidson. And tell me, here we are, first Grand Prix of the season, first time racing these cars. What are the big questions that need to be answered here, in your view?
Oh, thanks, Crofty. It's a real privilege to be here, and I can't wait to see what's in store for us this season. Now, to answer your question, one of the biggest things is reliability. Formula One cars are full of very sophisticated but also very sensitive technology, and this first Grand Prix of the season is going to push them to the limits. So the most important thing today is to stay out of trouble, get to the end of the race and keep everything in good condition.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Pierre Gasly lines up on pole position, and starting alongside is Nico Hülkenberg. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Vettel, Devon Butler and Bottas, Perez, Leclerc, Magnussen and Lucas Faber, Raikkonen, Hamilton, Williams and Albon, Russell, Norris, Romain Grosjean and Daniel Ricciardo. Kubica and Carlos Sainz will start from the back of the grid, and with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Okay, be wary of the cars ahead braking suddenly into one. We could ruin our race if we hit them.
And my suspension is just all wrong, too. The brake pressure is non-existent. Like, how am I supposed to manage this?
Okay, our system checks are good. We need to stay in formation and start bringing the car up to temperature, please. Get some load into the tyres and work the brakes. We want them nice and warm by the end of the lap.
Yep. I suppose it might be possible to get something out of this if I just manage the new reality. But now it's a thing that I'm going to have to check the setup before I start qualifying each session. And you should not have to do that. That just shouldn't be a thing you ever have to do.
That start was okay, now stay alert for threats around you.
But I feel like if we put downforce on the front, we're going to start having to deal with oversteer. I mean, at race pace, it's not as bad, I guess. At qualifying pace, it was absolutely abysmal and unforgivably slow.
DRS is now enabled and will be available to use when you are within 1 second of the car ahead in the DRS zone.
But yeah, I should have 5-6 wings. I should have 80% brake pressure. I should have a little bit lower tire pressure. I don't really have any real crack at Hamilton there. It's going to come down to the exit of this first
Not
chicane.
going to be able to run in this engine mode much longer. We're about a lap over target. Drop down to mix too soon.
Which our brakes are just absolutely awful on. I'm flashing back because Hamilton should have given me some room there and just didn't. You can't squeeze another racer off the track like that. I'm not asking for him to let me overtake him, I'm just asking for room to run alongside. Because obviously I wasn't going to be able to hold that move. Yeah, even Team at Margate's been complaining about the AI, which I think emphasizes just like the fact that there's something seriously wrong with them, with the AI.
Gap to teammate ahead is 5.9 seconds.
The way these cars just train up, it's just ridiculous though. And then they just bog you like that. It's just the mere fact that they programmed the game to make overtaking infuriating in DRS trains like this as well. After I've yet again been robbed of my true qualifying position. It's just incredibly frustrating. Like, I just play this to want a good, fun, relaxing race, and I get this instead. Overemphasized dirty air, just, God. Random slides, still present in the game, just amazing. I think I might have just found my breaking point in this game. DRS trains are just infuriating. This doesn't even happen this often in real life F1, like where you spend the entire race in a DRS train. I have like basically no chance of overtaking until they either pit or overtake and sort themselves out. And he just turned into me. The AI failing to give inside room. Failing utterly. So the only thing I can do is back out of the move because I'm not going to be given the room to overtake, even though I clearly have the fastest car going in there. The game's going to bumper car hold me back. I should be much higher on this grid too. I'm just furious. I'm just seriously miffed.
Good pace. You're catching the car in front by a second per lap. Check your MFD for a new strategy option. Okay, copy that.
Man, this is just... ugh. But they don't race you clean. And that is a real problem. Hey Super Mario B, how you doing? I don't know if you've heard me going off on this, but the main reason I'm angry is the game changed my setup for qualifying. I had like 5-6 wings. I had suspension tuned perfectly. I had like perfect brake pressure. The game changed everything. It gave me 2 wings. It gave me suspension that's too stiff. It gave me, I think, terrible roll bars, like almost no brake pressure. But yeah, the game should never change your setup like that. It shouldn't even be possible for that to happen in a glitch. But the thing is, like for Australia, you need downforce. I did. I can't stop laughing. I'm laughing with you, not at you. The main reason why I'm so angry is none of this should be happening. The devs deserve an absolute tongue lashing for this one. It's just an inexcusable thing to be present in the game. I think that's my 4th flashback already. And I think that comes down to my suspension being stiffer than it should be. If only the developers would listen to its fan base. It's not even, like, I'm not even on that train. Like, this is a very basic developmental thing. Like, you set your setup, you set it up in practice. The game should never, ever change it. It should never be different from what you set it at last. It should only change if the player changes it. The fact that my setup has been changed is a complete failure on the game development level. It's nothing less than a complete failure of development. It's just everything from the handling to how the cars respond following cars, and how the cars even take curves annoys me. Lewis. He's completely blocking me. But then he just turned in on me and didn't give me any room in that corner. But yeah, I consider this race carte blanche to take as many flashbacks as humanly possible. because the game has given me a very suboptimal car to drive. Which completely screwed me out of qualifying. So if the game's going to cheat me like that, I'm going to cheat the game.
We're trailing our teammate by 8.8 seconds.
Let's go third person. And again, they take lines that are never going to get the move done too. But he was only really there because of DRS and slipstream. I've been stuck behind him for 10 laps. Racing line and auto gearing, I think, are the only two. But the random slides in the game are making me want to turn traction control back on. And it's the game, because last year's game was not this bad. With like the random handling issues.
Okay, gap ahead is 3.1 seconds.
The tires are just steadily declining.
Charles is in the pits. We're approaching the pit window.
I'm just shaking my head.
Mediums.
All the mistakes I'm making are basically down to the way the car is set up. I don't have as much downforce as I should, as much roll bar. I should have more roll bar for a little bit more responsive car too, I'm pretty sure.
Battery charge is low. If we turn down the ERS deployment, we can harvest more energy.
Must be difficult. It's challenging. But apparently F1 drivers have played this game and say the handling is nothing like real life. Like they even admit it, that is nothing like real life. I think F128 was about as close as it got.
In front is 6.2 seconds. Ricardo behind. Our gap behind is 1.3 seconds. They're on old softs. Their tyres are 11 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1:25.1.
Like, I felt great about the car in practice, and then we just ended up with this.
We're boxing this lap. Give us the best in lap you can.
I think a lot of what they're saying is, like, the sliding behavior and the traction losses are just not realistic. They're more, like, exaggerated than in real life. Yeah, as far as handling and the carcass temperatures, that's my understanding.
Box now, please. Box this lap.
And they changed the game from that a little bit because people couldn't drive. They couldn't drive softer tires on the system. And career mode broke it. Once you would develop the car past a certain point, the heating just ended up becoming very unbalanced. Alright. So we're in for our one and only stop.
Complete, go now.
And here comes a gaggle of cars.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops.
Oh, we actually gained a little bit of time in the pit lane. Yeah, the car just sounds like it's really close to the ground now,
Battery charge is
too.
high. Let's increase ERS deployment to up the pace.
But for this year's game, they really slowed down the cars based on as far as like last year's cars go, or like the preseason practice cars. I don't think they ever got the handling up to where they actually achieved downforce. I just hear the car banging
You're
everywhere.
catching the car ahead, but remember, we need to get to the end of the race on these tyres.
But yeah, this is not a case of the game knowing best. Now it would have been okay if it was possible to turn park perma off and change the setup, but it's apparently not. Because when you turn it off, you can't turn it off for a race that was previously on for whatever reason. It's like an anti-cheat thing that is just shouldn't be present because of the glitching.
The gap to the car ahead is 3.2 seconds. You're pulling out to second a lap on the car behind.
Mario Bundy, how you doing, man? And here's another DRS train. Oh, Grosjean's gone. I forget who he's even driving for at this point. Oh. Tell me, Matteo. Alright. Will do. Man, our pace is ridiculous on these softs, or these mediums, actually. I say softs because the yellow wall tire was the soft for the longest time.
Gap to teammate ahead is 6.7 seconds. Yellow flag.
Oh, Grosjean drives for Ferrari now, wow.
Green flag.
Yeah, see, like that kind of slide. It actually reminds me of like F1 2011, F1 2012, where you actively had to avoid the curves.
2.4 seconds.
It feels like we're going backwards in that regard. Whereas in F1 2016 and 2017, running over those curves would simply cost you time. And not necessarily cause you to tailspin like that. Yeah, actually in this game, Grosjean moving to Ferrari, I think, has completed its utter collapse. Because Leclerc is driving for Haas, alongside me. And Vettel has moved on to, I believe, Renault? I think it's Renault. It's a normal pad slide. If I had my setup for this race, I feel like I'd be doing a lot better. I had amazing control over the car with the setup I had, and the game took my downforce away. gave me two wings just randomly.
Okay, gap ahead is 1.6 seconds.
But when you think about like basic things the game shouldn't be doing, changing your setup is like at the top of the list. Pretty much right at the top of it. Man, I hope these hards aren't phasing in.
Increase ERS deployment. It's time to use some of this charge.
Yeah, I'm not in a hurry to do that because I want to have plenty of battery when we actually start threatening overtakes. Dive bomb. The dive bomb of all dive bombs.
Okay, good work. Great pass.
If we're going to have any chance to field ahead, I need to get ahead now. Vettel and Raikkonen are dueling back and forth. I'm gonna have to time this just right, I think. Or just wait for Raikkonen to lose position of Vettel defending from me. it comes back at me. Mediums have been much better for us.
Gap to car in front is 5.1 seconds. Caution, caution. Be aware, there's an incident in the next part of the track. No overtaking through the yellow flags.
Ah, I'm gonna just flash that one back. I think the main reason for my struggle is that this car just doesn't have as much downforce as it should.
The track is clear. Green flag.
Looks like we might be able to get 5th if we can catch these guys pretty quick.
We're trailing our teammate by 5.0 seconds.
But I think if I had my setup, like, I wouldn't be struggling nearly as much. Trying to pull away from Vettel here as well. I should be able to run that curb. I'm just complaining about the physics of the game now, but that's a physics thing. You should be able to just run that curb.
Yellow flag.
I should not spin you out like that.
The gap to the car ahead is 4.1 seconds. Bottas ahead. Our gap to the car in front is 4.1 seconds. The time last lap was a 1 minute 24.0. You're closing by 0.4 per lap.
We need to be closing way quicker than that. Well, it looks like we actually are.
We have 5 laps of fuel remaining.
The thing I'm just really miffed about is how fast I could have been.
laps of fuel remaining.
I'm only gonna get a few laps to do this.
We expect the tyres are getting a bit worn at this point. You may notice a gradual loss in grip. They should still have a bit left though.
Hot lap for the last two. God, I just feel so sluggish. And that just slid. That just slid into the corner. Which again is down to downforce. I have less than I should. And the car can't handle the loss following the car behind.
We advise moving to mix 2, fuel to mix 2.
If you're running higher downforce, it would mitigate it. But yeah, this is what it's like to drive a gimped car.
Remaining.
And this shouldn't have even been close.
This is your final lap of the race.
I don't even know if I had the pace to win, and
5/10 per lap.
the game took away my chance to find out. No grip whatsoever. Absolutely no grip. Yeah, it was... God, this car just felt like crap following. And I was definitely robbed my rightful position.
I can't say that I'm happy with how today went, but I'm sure you gave it your best. Better luck next time.
Victory for the team from Milton Keynes then, after a quality performance. Anthony Davidson, what helped them deliver this result, do you think?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everyone at the team. Let's have a quick look at how the driver standings have changed. Pierre Gasly takes the championship lead today. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Anthony Davidson, who do you pick?
I have to give it to Williams.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Red Bull take over as championship leaders. Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Alright, we'll watch the highlights, I guess. Man, I'm just so miffed. I think our race pace was like a second quicker in practice per lap. That's like how drastic that change was. Yeah, I posted it on the forum. Some guy's like, we need to know what platform you're on, what mode you're in, single player, F1, F2. It's like, come on, it's an obvious bug. Like, you can't tell me the developers need all this information to figure this out. Yeah, I was doing low 123s, but I was very in control of the car. So I don't know.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that.
The team wasn't.
You really cut your way through the field today. What was your strategy? Do you think you were lucky not to end your race with that crack?
We're gonna not comment on that.
Well, thanks anyway.
Oh, we won a rivalry. Alright.
Commiserations on that result. It's been a tough weekend. Looks like one of your rivals is also going to an upcoming historical event. If you choose to take him on, it might help get your name out there a bit.
Yeah, we're just going to develop a whole slate of durability upgrades. You think you're leaving too much on the table. Well, maybe not change my setup like right before qualifying so that I'm stuck with the suboptimal one. Do you think maybe you could manage that team? Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so bitter right now. Yeah. Did Force India just do more upgrading? Mostly to the chassis, it looks like. And we're going to catch up there. Man. Well, we'll end the race weekend here.